All right. Hey, everybody. This is Mark. I'm an organizer with the Independent Drivers Guild here in Chicago. It is Wednesday, June 23rd, and thank you for joining us on this webcast. We wanted to just give you a quick update about stuff that's been going on. So we're going to try and keep this brief. And as you can see, my fellow co-organizer, Stephen Everett, has joined us. Hey, Stephen, go ahead and unmute yourself. How you doing today?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay? Should I take it off the radio, the car radio speaker, or does it sound okay?
No, it sounds good. Happy summer. I see you got your IDG shirt on. So, are you out working this evening?
Yeah, just a little bit. Just want to kind of peep the scene a little bit. Enjoy the nice weather.
Yep, no doubt. And we want to wish all the drivers out there a happy summer. My two kids just got out of school. It was the last day of school, so we had the party to celebrate. So anyway, let's just get to it. For this broadcast, we don't want to keep you because we know you're all busy out there. So we're going to try and keep it to 30 minutes or less. And we haven't done one of these in a while, so that's why we also wanted to go live. And we're trying all different ways to get the news and information out to you guys as drivers, because we know you're probably, if you're driving right now, you're probably making some good money, right? And we all want to be making money. So there's been some stuff going on today at City Council we're going to talk about. And for those of you who are watching, we're doing this broadcasting on both Facebook Live and YouTube. So hopefully, if you got any comments or questions, just go ahead and put it in the chat, and we should see what you're trying to say. And if we can get to your question in this time, we'll definitely will. So without further ado, some of you may have heard in the news that there is an ordinance being floated in the city council by one of the aldermen. And that ordinance, if you read the news, says, he's going to cap surge prices. And there's talk that he wants to cap surge prices at 150%. So that is definitely news. It is a real ordinance that's out there. Unfortunately, nothing happened today at City Council. There was no vote. There was a lot of shenanigans going on, shall we say. There was some shouting and some finger pointing by our favorite mayor, Lori Lightfoot. So I don't want to get into that. You can read about it on the news. But let me just ask you, Stephen, how does that hit you as a driver when you hear about a surge cap?
For me, it depends. It depends. I don't know. I mean, I wanna hear from drivers first about it. I wanna see what people have to say about it. I mean, I don't know, Mark. What you think? What do you think? I'm right now. I want to sit back and I want to watch and I want to see how smart some of these drivers are, and I want to see, how could we make this plain and simple to them. So I mean, I don't know, Mark. You tell me what you think.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you in 1 second, but I wanted to just say hello to, we got already a comment from Arturo Fragoso Buendia, and he said, let's keep pushing together. So, yes, that's what IDG is all about. We're pushing together. And, I'll be honest with you, Stephen, when I first heard about this ordinance, I was like, no surge cap, right? Like I said, the drivers, the drivers that are out there right now are making good money. More power to you. You deserve it. And IDG is always about the driver. We always think about the driver first and foremost. But I reached out to the alderman last week, and to his credit, he contacted us and said, let's discuss this ordinance. And for those of you out there, we have had some initial conversations with the alderman. We have seen the legislation. It's more than just this surge cap. And so, I
Right.
want to spend a couple minutes to talk about those things. And all this is in flux. You got to take sometimes the good with the bad. So if it's just the surge cap, then I agree with you, Stephen. It's a no deal. But
Yeah. No deal. No deal.
right, and I
I
see.
just, you know what? I just wanted to. I just wanted to put the question out there for the drivers, because this is what we do as IDG. We let the drivers decide on what they want and what they don't want, and smart drivers know that this is a bad deal. Um, and I just want to hear from the drivers. If you're listening right now as a driver, let us know what you think below. Jump in the comments, join the conversation. But we think it's a bad deal. It's not going to help drivers. We don't want a cap.
Right. Yeah. And I'm seeing that already in the chat. So, Stephen, I know you might not be able to see it while you're driving, but we have Malik Anwar who says, multiplier is better. And we have Larry who says, if it means a pay cut, no way. Malik also says, since we're doing the labor work, we should be getting most of the money. And then, of course, Lenny's there saying no surge cap. Right. So, yeah, we're with you on that. But let me tell you
Definitely.
something else that's in the ordinance, which we found very interesting. There's language about a commission cap. And for those out there who don't know what that is, if you're a driver, I'm sure if you've been doing this business for a while, you've taken a ride, like on Uber, and maybe some of you ask the passenger, oh, how much do they charge you? And these days, passengers, we've seen fares, they're getting charged $100 to go like from O'Hare to downtown, right? And then we see how much we made out of that $100, and then that's when you get pissed off, right?
Yep.
So, Stephen, you've been doing it for a while. Like, how was it in the old days? What was the commission?
So basically, we were receiving at least 80%, 75, 80%, depending on what time frame we're talking about here. And I'm one of the veterans of this, and back when we first started doing this, when the mustaches was around and people had it on their vehicles, we were receiving 80% plus of the promotions Lyft and Uber had at the time. And to be honest, I think still should be that way today, because guess what? Lyft and Uber can still make money off of doing that. They're just gorging the drivers and the riders at the same exact time. But it was sweet back then, just like all the old veteran drivers tell you, it was so sweet back then. We loved doing it. It was new, but now it seems that it flipped. It's the opposite now. Uber is taking 75%, 60, 65, 75%, and we get the crumbs. That's totally unfair.
I totally agree. And yeah, I'm seeing, other people in the comments here, there's maybe suggesting, 85%, 90%. Right now in the ordinance, it says 75%. So, that's better than what we were getting, but maybe we could be asking for more. So I just wanted to highlight that because, again, these articles you're seeing, and I'm going to share a screenshot of one that came out this morning from NBC Chicago. So They don't go into these details. And, I want to say, IDG, like, we understand passengers, right? We understand they're upset, right? Because they open their app, and I've seen some passengers say, like, they want to charge me $60 or whatever to go 1 mile. I mean, if I were a passenger, I'd be pissed off as well. And
Yeah.
so,
Yes.
we want to come up with a solution that is a win-win for both passengers and for drivers. We don't want drivers to be hurt just because passengers are upset, that they're paying a lot of money. So, yeah, let me go and share that really quickly.
Let us see, Mark. Let us see.
Yeah. 1 second here. I'm, the technology here, doing everything I can. All right. So, again, as I mentioned, go and you can read this article from NBC Chicago. There's not a lot of details, but it's out there. Uber and Lyft, they know about this now, and believe me, they're going to do everything in their power to kill this. So we got to unite as drivers, and that's why we're doing this broadcast, is we're trying to give you the details, some of the inside information that you're not going to hear in the press. You might also be hearing some things from other driver organizations, and whatever they're going to say, right? But as you saw in the video which I played at the beginning, you've seen us IDG out there. We're there almost every week at the TNP lot out by O'Hare. We've been at some of the ghost kitchens. We've been to Midway, and of course the two recent vigils, right? Those two drivers, that were sadly killed, Javier Ramos and then Joe Shelstrati. We were there. We organized those vigils. We are in contact with the families. It was Stephen. It was a powerful moment at Joe's outside the Uber headquarters. I know you were kind of the master of ceremonies on that one. I mean, what were your thoughts leading that?
Thoughts were at that time that this could have been any one of us, and I just felt so sorry for Joe Shelstrati's family and all other volunteer drivers to this act. Just like I said in the news media, all it takes is one button for Uber to implement to bring us 100% safety. At least 90% safety. Dealing with these crazy people sometimes. So my thoughts were predominantly this could have been any one of us. And still, to this day, the safety is not where it belongs. It still could be any one of us. I think that's the saddest part. After all of this, we're still facing this threat, this meaningless threat at that, because all they have to do is press a button and make passengers take a picture of themselves before they're able to order a ride. Make new passengers and current passengers identify themselves, by uploading an ID or something. It's just simple as that. We're not asking them to share it with us. We're asking them to share it with Uber. So if anything happens, the police will have something to work with. Because in a lot of cases, a lot of times, when incidents happen, the police don't know where to turn, and and the case goes cold. And we want to stop that from happening.
I'm glad you brought that up, Stephen, because this is another thing that's in the ordinance that you might not know about. There is some language there about deactivation appeals. As you know, like in New York, where IDG's headquartered, drivers there, if they get deactivated, they have a resource. They can come to IDG, and IDG will work to try and get them reactivated, or at least have a fair hearing. Here in Chicago, nothing like that exists. And
No.
when we go do these vigils in front of the Uber headquarters, what do we see? We see these long lines of drivers waiting to go, and the majority of them is because they have a problem. They were deactivated, something, and they're just treated like crap, honestly, by
Yeah.
Uber and Lyft. So Yeah, that's in the ordinance. And there's also, get this, there is a language in there about passenger verification. This is what IDG has been working on, for a while. The language has to be like tweaked a little bit, but there's some stuff in there about that. And like I said, there's stuff in there about deactivation. There's also stuff about creating a special fund that would go to pay for things like dash cameras for drivers, safety partitions, maybe some minor repairs. So that's in the ordinance as well. So, I have to give credit to Alderman Riley. He came out of this, he's the president pro tem of the city council. So he's an influential alderman. And like I said, we are looking forward to talking with his staff in the days ahead. But I don't know if any of you, like me, or a nerd who likes to watch these city council meetings. Nothing happened today. No vote. It didn't come up. Like I said, our mayor had a little bit of a meltdown, and they canceled the whole meeting today. So we'll be back on. They're going to reconvene on Friday, and hopefully, get this bill introduced. Stephen, looks like you might have frozen for a second, so I'm just going to keep on going here. We've got some more comments from Malik again that, yes, Lyft and Uber didn't send a condolence letter to their partners who died because of their clients. And you see that if you saw the video and coverage, we had the sister of Grant Nelson show up at the vigil for Joe Shelstrati. And it was really, really a powerful moment. Because those of you maybe who are new to driving, Grant Nelson was an Uber driver who was stabbed to death about 4 years ago. He picked up a passenger at the Walmart in Skokie. And I remember I was just starting driving around that time, and it really got to me. And I'm sure it got to a lot of drivers when that first happened. So again, we are all like coming together as a community, drivers, the families and stuff. And now we're seeing legislators coming together. I just saw on the news also that Seattle has just passed. They created a deactivation type of resource, so that if you're a driver and you get deactivated, you can have someone like an IDG, go to bat for you to get you back on the platform. So that's, kind of a nutshell what's going on with the ordinance. Like I said, we just want you guys to be aware, because you might be hearing different things from different groups. Yeah, and so George, I see you said, the button's not really going to help you if you got someone in your car with a gun pointed at your head. And again, Arturo, thank you for your comment. Yeah, 100% safety for all drivers. Let me get you back on here. So yeah, we got Stephen back on again. I know how it goes.
Sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
My phone got a little hot there. Go ahead.
No, I'm just reading all the comments while you were reconnecting. We have a veteran driver, Brian. Thank you for the correction. Yes, it may have been a few blocks away, but regardless, it was a brutal incident that I think shocked a lot of us. But flash forward to today, this kind of stuff is still happening. And actually, this is breaking news. One of our co-organizers, KK, we heard yesterday that he was almost a victim of some kind of carjacking. Fortunately, he got away, made a report. I have not talked to him, so I don't have all the details. We're hoping to get him maybe on board a future webcast. Hey, we have someone here. Lenny, I thought you're Star Wars. Vader. Are you okay? I heard you had some voice issues.
Yeah, my asthma is really bad, and I've been losing my voice. I just wanted to jump on because I saw Steve was frozen. He messaged me he was having problems. But looks like he's back.
Yeah, no worries. So I mean, Lenny, you talked to KK most recently. How's he doing?
Oh, KK is doing great. Did you share KK's story?
I just said briefly that, even one of our organizers was almost carjacked yesterday. And, this is like going nonstop.
It was yeah, KK is one of our members, and he's an organizer with us. He was just randomly came across carjackers in a carjacked car that were transferring cars, and then went after him. He was able to get away, call the cops. The cops came, verify that the car that was left behind was a vehicle that was recently carjacked. So they were fingerprinting it, and that's all we know. But KK himself, he was a little rattled after that, but he's fine. He's doing good. And yeah, it's hitting close to home for many people.
Yeah, thank you, Lenny. It is so shocking. I just personally, like, I'm just not going back driving with all this stuff, and we've been talking about it as IDG that this kind of stuff probably happens once or twice a day. You only hear about things in the press. Over the weekend, actually, there were reports that some of you may have posted that there was an Uber driver who was shot in I think it was a Humboldt Park neighborhood. There was another shooting that happened around that same time and place of a young couple who were shot and killed. And so maybe the Uber driver's story kind of slipped through the cracks. But, I want to just put this out for if you're a driver and you hear about these types of incidents, contact one of us. I know Lenny puts his phone number out there. We have our Facebook page now. We have actually a special text line that you can call in. If you hear about these things, write down the details, like the day it happened, the time, the address, if you have photos or anything, police information, and we will follow up on it. We have now a number of contacts in the media, and we can call them, and they can check with the Chicago Police Department. And we want to have every driver who's a victim of crime, be honored, and
Justice.
yes, justice. But also, like I see in the comments now, Jennifer, I'm so sorry. Jennifer is part of the family from Javier Ramos, who had a daughter, and now tragically, has lost her father. Jennifer, please, get in touch with one of us. We'd love to know any updates about the case. If police have any suspects or new information, and we're happy to share that with the driver community. But obviously, some of that might be confidential. So anyway, yeah. So let's just again, we just wanted to get this out to you because there might be a lot of information that you hear with the press. What we just shared with you, I don't think anyone else has heard about, because like we were one of the first to be given this ordinance from the alderman's office. And like I said, there's a lot in there. We're cautiously optimistic. We have a meeting scheduled with the alderman, next week or soon after that. This ordinance is not going to be voted on right away. Again, what will happen is on Friday, if it does come up, it will be referred to another subcommittee. Then that subcommittee has to meet, and then the aldermen who are on that subcommittee have to vote for it to come out of committee, which then will come back to the full city council. So how does that affect you guys as drivers? Once this bill goes into that subcommittee, we need your help to contact the aldermen who are on that committee to support it. And just we'll post that on our IDG page. We'll text it out. We'll e-blast. We'll get that to you, who those aldermen are. It's probably going to be something like the License and Consumer Protection Committee. And we've been, we have a about 10 to 12 aldermen who we've been in touch with, who support us. Alderman Byron Sigcho Lopez came to our vigil for Joe Shelstrati. So, much power to Alderman Sigcho Lopez. Alderman Laspada has also been in our corner. But I will remind everyone, this isn't a democracy. We're going to need 26 votes from City Council to pass this. And, we have about, like I said, 10 to 12 now. So you can do the math. We need about another 15. So, if you know who your alderman is, let us know, and we'll meet with the alderman any day. If you don't know who it is, we can look it up. All we need is your address. And that's, if you live in Chicago. If you're a driver and you live, outside of Chicago, there's other ways you can be involved as well. So, like I said, we wanted to keep this short because we just wanted to get the information out there. One other thing, one of our other organizers, Kevin, couldn't be with us tonight. He is actually working on a newsletter. The goal is we want to put out a regular newsletter, maybe like once a month, just so that you guys can be informed. And because we know, you're not always on Facebook or YouTube, we're going to print it out, and we're going to be handing it out when we're doing canvassing at the O'Hare lot. Again, just another preview. We're also working on possibly doing a vaccination event, and that's going to be offered for drivers, free of charge. We don't know where yet, so we'll let you know about that. And wellness. We have a wellness program. All this stuff that you're hearing about is quite stressful. So if you have something going on and you just need someone to speak with, we have both a phone number and an email. It will connect you to one of our wellness counselors. They have training, and someone will get back to you and talk to you. We're going to actually roll out something even bigger in the summer to do an in-person wellness event. We're going to have some partners on board. We're going to do some giveaways. We might have some food and beverage for drivers and their families. So again, I'm going to bring this to a close. I know we hit you guys with a lot of information. Like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and let me put this thing here. Sorry, I was going to put this earlier. So in the bottom here, there's a ticker, and the best way to stay on top of our information is to go to this website. It's il.drivingguild.org. From there, you'll see a join button in the top right. Click that, and then just fill out your information. All we really need is name, email, phone number. That'll put you in our system, and then one of our organizers will reach out to you. And if you give us a phone number, we'll send you a text blast. We don't do it a lot. We're not going to spam you. Maybe like once a week at most. And then you also get our emails. So that's how you'll get our newsletter. So that's about it. I mean, Stephen, did I miss anything?
Mark, you covered everything, man. You covered everything. The only thing you missed is all of the drivers that's out there driving right now. Please be safe. We hope your passengers tip you $1,000 each, and enjoy this beautiful day.
All right. Well, you guys all be safe if you're out working. Hope you make a lot of money tonight, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.